This is a new tale from Tales Under Shells, where stories are lived, not instructed. As this story unfolds, allow your breath to stay with you. Suchi had been working on herself for a while now, and by most measures, she believed she had healed a lot. She felt more confident speaking about healing, explaining it, even guiding conversations around it. It felt familiar, comfortable, like something she knew. One day, during a conversation with a friend, the topic turned towards an issue Suchi had faced many times before. They explored it together calmly. Then, her friend asked something that didn't quite fit into the answers Suchi already had. Why does this other part exist? What is it trying to achieve? What does it need that it is not getting? Why can't it just change? The questions were simple, and yet they unsettled her. Suchi responded, not poorly, not awkwardly. The conversation flowed. It even ended on a good note. But something inside her had not settled. Later, she understood why. If she had truly gone deeper into her own beliefs, she would have had at least a felt sense of those answers. But she didn't. What she had were conclusions, not curiosity. That evening, when a familiar belief surfaced again, Suchi did what she always did. She began working with it. Midway through, she noticed something quietly shift. She had started with curiosity, but somewhere along the way, she had changed gears. What began as listening had turned into advocating for what she believed was right, for what should happen, for what she wanted the path to become. And the moment she noticed that shift, the curiosity disappeared. She paused. Looking back at her earlier explorations, a pattern became visible. Though her work appeared to involve different parts within her, she often moved too quickly into persuasion. She assumed the need beneath the part, offered explanations, and called it integration. She rarely stayed long enough to actually hear what the part was asking for. And yet, this was how she had been taught. Still, something about it had never fully sat right with her. What she now saw was a loophole. This was not integration, it was comfort disguised as healing. A narrative being pushed not because it was true, but because it allowed her to stay aligned with what she already believed. It was not curiosity seeking understanding, it was curiosity used to reach a predetermined outcome. Seeing this was frustrating. It meant that much of her self work had not dissolved the unwanted parts. It had quietly pushed them further into the unconscious, while strengthening the ones she preferred. But it also brought clarity. If she wanted to continue working with herself, the practice itself needed to change. She began again, not perfectly, not smoothly. At times, she still slipped into advocating, but now she noticed it sooner. And more often than before, she could return gently to not knowing, to listening, to curiosity without a goal. So, how do you approach your healing work? Are you trying to understand your parts or persuading them to become something else? When you say integration, are you listening for the need beneath the part or guiding it toward what feels more acceptable to you? Sometimes healing does not begin with going deeper, it begins with noticing how we are looking. If something stayed inside you, you don't have to name it. Just know you're not wrong for feeling this way.